Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Bergwald, Director of Adult Discipleship and Evangelization with the Diocese of Sioux Falls.
And I'm Father John Rutten, priest of the Diocese of Sioux Falls.
And this is our seventh video in this series on Robert Coleman's book, The Master Plan of Evangelism, looking at chapter 6 on delegation. So, Father, one of the big takeaways for me here, this chapter really resonated with me, particularly because of some of the things that Pope Francis has been emphasizing. I mentioned in one of the earlier videos his document, The Joy of the Gospel, Evangelii Gaudium. And he uses a phrase, we've been using the term intentional disciples in our diocese for quite some time, looking back at Sherry Weddell's great book, Forming Intentional Disciples, that we did a video series on as well. Francis uses this term that I like even more, missionary discipleship, and how we're all sent. So, we talked in earlier videos about how, as leaders, the small group that we form is not meant to become our own clique, our groupies, etc. These are really disciples that we're forming, and this chapter emphasizes to me so that they can be sent out. So to me, one of the big keys, and a challenge, frankly, this isn't as easy, is being very clear in our own minds as leaders, but also being explicit with those who we are leading and forming, that I am forming you, that we are forming you to go. Not just maybe after some time goes by, you get comfortable and the relationships, the friendships form and then deepen. And this is, in a sense, an intimate environment in the sense that I can share things in this small group. And that's fantastic, necessary, good, but we can't stay there. We can come back to there, and we'll talk about that more in the next video. But we have to recognize that we are, as leaders, we're forming them, equipping them to not just be disciples, but missionary disciples. Not just disciples, but apostles as well.
And it gets to the heart of love. Love pours out.
You talk about love a lot. You're right, though, absolutely.
God is love.
Absolutely.
What did St. John say at the end of his life? Love one another, love one another, love one another. And I think we have lost the sense of what this means.
Right.
And to love is sacrifice, to love is to pour out. If I truly am encountering the God who is love, I want to share that with another. And if that isn't happening, we need to say, what's maybe not ordered right? Do I need to teach something a little bit? So something not quite come across? And it's really important. We had some of the missionary disciples and those being discipled at the university level through Focus come down to the parish level, and we did a little exchange with those that are being missionaried and discipled, and some just looking at things at the high school level. After it was all over, we went to have some social and something to eat. The college disciples were all over the place. And the parents noticed.
What do you mean all over the place?
One was sitting at this table, and another was sitting at this table, and another was over here, and another was there, and one was talking to adults, and one was talking to kids, and one was talking to Dave, and they were pouring themselves out. They wanted to give themselves. And what is the other option, which I experience sometimes too when I go to a new place? If there's other priests, all the priests find each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's safe. But if we really are open, Christ is calling us to give to others, to those that are in our midst. And it has to be at least, I think we have to be aware of it. I don't think it has to be trained so much as we have to be aware of it, and then to allow the Spirit to move in us to say, oh yeah, I think I need to go over there.
I think there's another point that you mentioned, that the 2x2 thing that Coleman mentioned in the chapter. Can you talk about how that struck you?
Well, yeah, he talks about going out 2x2, and I think sometimes we can get this world where we think we're alone, or I'm going to be asked to do something myself. But the fact of the matter is, there's always others with us. And Francis, in his document, talks about it. He talks about the art of accompaniment. Right. And I love that. I am accompanying others, but there are others with me.
Right.
I'm not on my own. And to realize that brings real joy. Thomas Aquinas says that the real fruit of joy comes when we find we have a companion.
Right.
So I can have all of the great things in the world. I can have, a great home, and I can have a great church, and I can have a building, and I can have a great education program. But if I don't have friendship,
right,
I'm missing something. So I thought that was a really important part that he put in here, and is something to be open to who else is doing what I'm doing, And is there an opportunity for friendship to develop that will make what I'm doing joyful?
So we can go out together, 2 by 2, just as the apostles.
Yes, and then what are we bringing? St. Catherine Drexel, in her quote, talks about we must have joy when we bring forth the good news. And that comes because of the fruit and friendship I'm already living that is burning within me and others see.
Definitely.